Okay, so yesterday I gave everybody their username and password. Yesterday I told you to go to my.hrw.com. And when you go there, you have to log in. And I gave you a long piece of paper with your name at PHS. And that would be your username. And then Paris, that's your password. And once you log in, you'll see something like this. Now, of course, this is the teacher account. So I have many things over here. But when you look at your screen, you'll only have these two right here. You'll only have Interactive Student Edition and Student Resources. Okay? And then if you scroll down over here, you would have, I have nothing here because I'm a teacher, but for you, you would have an assignment. Okay, you will see two assignments. That would be chapter 17.1 and 17.2. These are just the evaluate section questions, and these are the ones I want you to work on in class today because we're going to do hands-on learning for two sections altogether the next day. All right, so please make sure you work on it. The reason why you think my test questions are so difficult is because they actually come from these questions, but you never had access to them, right? Well, you did in paper form, but you never worked on them in class. So in order for you to bring up your grades, I decided to give just assign it to you so that way you can see. Now, another thing I wanted to show you is how to use your textbook. So you have to go into the Interactive Student Edition. Then right now you guys are on Unit 7. So click on Unit 7. And then you have to click on chapter 17 because remember we just took the test for module 16. So click on 17 and you're going to click on 17.1. And all of a sudden now you're going to get access to this. And in the past what I did was I just gave you a link to this site, but now I'm showing you how to get there. And so this is what I use to record my videos. And of course, now I'm going to start my lesson, but I just wanted to show you how to get in there. So again, if you want to go to 17.2, you will go back to the other tab and click on 17.2. And if nothing happens, it's because the other window has now switched over to 17.2. Anyhow, I hope you can figure this out. If not, of course, you can ask me for help. But try your best, okay? All right, so today we're going to do 17.1 and 2. As you can see, you can click on that and then you can scroll up and down. And the best thing about you having this account is that now you can save all your work. So you don't have to worry about having somebody, steal your notebook and you have no proof for your grades. You can just go ahead and do everything here, and I have access to everything. Okay, so there you go, exploring translations. If you remember, translation basically means you're moving something. So if you have a triangle here and you want to move it, there you go. If you scroll down, what you do is we copy the same line over here because this point over here now has to move there, right? And so you have to do the same thing over here, and then you connect the 3 points, 1, 2, 3. And if you pull this down, you would see that, right? Okay, so it shows you, and as you can see, I already selected my answer, so it's still saved. And so it's gonna be the same thing for you. And so I want you to go ahead and work on all of this, a lot of the things over here. Translation, if you remember, translation is when we just move it. Like I moved it to the right by 3, or I moved it down, or I moved it up. Maybe I can move it diagonally, okay? And so that's what translation is. Translation means moving. You're moving the shape up and down sideways, okay? All right, so let's move on. So then over here, they talk about vectors, and you might be wondering, what is a vector? But it tells you here, a vector is a quantity that has both direction and magnitude. What that means is it tells you which way to go and how long. You see the length of this line? That's how long it has to be. Okay, so if you scroll this down, it will tell you, oh, that's the initial point and that's where you're supposed to go to. That's the terminal point, okay? All right, so this is really cool, and that's the vector. And you express it by drawing a line on top and then like a little arrow or a little thing just upwards. All right, so a translation usually needs a vector because the vector tells you if you have a blue triangle here, you gotta start from here and go this much, that direction. This is a vector right here. And so that's what they did over there in the picture. So as you can see, there's a lot of things you can do here, but you basically have to learn on your own. So let's see, this is the vector. If you were to start here, you have to go down this way. I went down by 2 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the left. So down. If you were to start here, I would go down by 2 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now, point C would be over here. It would be C prime. Same thing with A. I'll go down. I will start from here, go down by 2 and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's where A prime is going to be, okay? And what about B? I start from here, I go down by 2 and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I put another point here. And then what I do is I just connect the 3 lines. And now I am done with my translation. Okay? And of course, you can do it probably on the computer right here. And it takes you step by step to explain to you. And so you have to say the terminal point is what? How many did I have to go left? I had to go 5 left, and how many down? 2, right? And then if you click on check, it would tell you if you're right or wrong. And I already explained that to you. I have the vector here, I start from here, I have to go down by 2 and 5 to the left, right? So then go ahead and follow the steps because I already explained it to you, but it's so much better if you just do it yourself. And then watch this video because Mr. Berger is really good. Then of course here's your turn question. Now you'll have access to this, and of course I want you to solve it, right? And so it says draw the image after this translation. So same thing, you start from here and you're going what? 1, 2, 3 down. Okay, so 3 down. And then you have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the left, 5 left. And so that's what you're gonna do with this point, and that point, okay? And so when you are done, okay, you can go ahead and plot it over here, okay? So I'm not gonna show you the correct answer because I want you to do it yourself, but you see how you can click on this, and then let me see how you're going to do this. Yeah, you have to go ahead and just draw a line like that, okay? And for this one, draw a line like that. And this one, draw a line like that. Of course, this is the wrong answer. If I click on check answer, it's gonna say that's not it, try again. And that's the beauty of this interactive textbook, okay? And you can click on example and it would even show you what to do. But there's only one question. I'm gonna move on because that's something that you have to figure out on your own. And of course, Miss Cho is always here. I would help you, but you have to, put in some effort, okay? Another way of expressing a vector is in component form. That's what it's called, okay? So you have kind of like a bracket like this. And then the A tells you how many you gotta go to the right or left. And the B tells you how many you're gonna go up or down, okay? All right, so now let's continue on. If you have this vector over here, how are you going to express it in component form? Well, let's see. It's going to the right by 5, and then it's going up by 3. So that's how I would express it in component form. Or you can just go ahead and draw it like that, okay? But you have to understand both ways, okay? Uh-oh. There you go. So then, of course, these are the rules, and you don't really have to understand this part because it's all common sense. If it says x plus a, then that means you have to move to the right by a, and the y stays the same. These are the rules, and we already did this in chapter 16. And if you want to move to the left, you would go x minus a, and the y stays the same. If you want to go up or down, the y would change. You add b or subtract b. So you can go ahead and work on this one. It's exactly the same. X minus 4 means from 1, I gotta subtract 4. And so that will give me a negative 3. So there you go. I have to just put this rectangle up there. And then y is 3. So 3 minus 3 is 0. So I got that right. If I click on check, it would say this one's correct, but all the others are not done yet. So it would tell you to do more. Okay? Don't you just love it? So another video, another your turn question. Then let's just keep going because we have to do 2 sections today. So you can go ahead and draw a translation, and then you can write the component form, okay? So the ABC, that's the pre-image, it moved to prime A, prime B, and prime C, or A prime, B prime, and C prime, right? And that is the image. That's the answer, okay? So let's try and remember. I saw some of you using your notes on the test, and I really loved it. And I saw the words pre-image and image, and it really made my day. Anyway, pre-image is before you moved it. This is before translation, okay? Before the translation. And then the image is after the translation. So that's basically your answer. Like after you moved it, where is it supposed to be, okay? And just by looking at this, you already know what your component is, right? You start with A, and to get to this A prime, what did you have to do? Well, I had to go down by 2. So then I had to go down by 2. So the negative 2 is on the right-hand side. And then how many did I have to go to the right? 1, 2, 3, 4. I had to go 4 to the right. Always remember x comes first, okay? So when we're moving sideways, that's on the x-axis. So we put 4 first. And then when we're moving up or down, that's moving along the y-axis up and down like this. So make sure you put that in the back. And that is the correct answer that, you already got right there. So anyway, if you scroll down and follow all the steps, you'll find out that that is the correct answer. And you can type in your answer right here that I already gave you, and you can check it. All right? Again, watch this video if you did not understand a thing Miss Choi was saying, and that's perfectly okay. That's why I'm here in person as well. But you have to go ahead and take the initiative, get out of your seat, go to the board and ask me questions. Write down the question, collaborate with your friends, show me that you're really into this stuff. Okay? Alright, so you can go ahead and work on this on your own. It tells you what the component form is. That means you have to go to the right by 7 and go down by 7. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that's correct. Okay, so how is the vector related? Well, you can see right here. Okay, so make sure you work on this on your own. Very easy stuff. Now let's move on to 17.2. I'm really looking forward to doing 17.2 in the classroom with you because we're going to use some patty paper and learn about what a reflection is. And you already know, look, there's a reflection of this boy in the mirror. Isn't that great? Reflections are so cool. Okay, so we're gonna do all this stuff using tracing paper in the classroom. But still, I want you to go through this and then learn. Alright? So let's see here. Perpendicular lines are lines that intersect at right angles. And we know this already. If they make 90-degree angles, they are perpendicular lines. They look like crosses, like the red cross, right? Okay. What is a perpendicular bisector? Okay, that's the line that cuts the segment in exactly 2 parts. And these 2 parts measure the same. Okay, so that is the segment that's been divided into 2 parts. And this line over here, the line N, that would be the perpendicular bisector. Okay? So what is a reflection? A reflection across, it's like folding paper, and we'll do that in class. But anyhow, a reflection across line L maps a point to its image P prime as follows. That's true. If I have a point here and then I folded my paper, then now I'll have P prime over here, and these 2 lengths will be exactly the same. And so that's kind of like the definition of a reflection. So then now let's take a look at this question right here. Okay, and this is really cool because now that you know what a reflection is, it asks you, you have a triangle here reflected across this line. So then the point C would be the same, but what about point B? What you gotta do is starting from here, you gotta draw a 90-degree, a straight line going down, and it has to be 90 degrees. And you gotta measure how long this is, and then that's exactly how long it has to be, and point B will be right there. Same thing over here, you have to start from here and draw a perpendicular line on this one, and then you see how long this is. That's how much longer you gotta go down. Now, of course, I'm not saying that my answer is correct, because as you can see, I need like a ruler or something, and it doesn't even look the same, okay? But that is the whole idea. That is what reflection is, okay? And you can see over here, they did a better job of making it more accurate. They drew a line and it forms a 90-degree angle, and it has to be the same length. So you can just click on it, show location of A prime, and it shows you automatically. I just love this textbook. I hope you love it as much as I do. So same thing, you can go ahead and do that. Show location of B, same thing. You draw a 90-degree angle here. I mean, this line forms a 90-degree angle with the other line, right? And then you gotta measure the length, this and that, and it's right there. So anyhow, and then when you draw it, the triangle looks like this. So as you can see, the red triangle is a reflection of the blue triangle. Watch the video. Do the your turn question. Okay, and if you're struggling at this point, it's okay. Don't get scared, because don't forget, on Friday we're gonna do hands-on stuff to help you understand a little bit better. Now here are the reflection rules. Of course, you could try and figure this out yourself, but the textbook, they just kind of gave it to you, huh? So these are the rules you gotta follow. Okay, so if you want to reflect across the x-axis, that would be this line over here. And if you have a point here and you want to reflect it across this line, of course it's going to be like right here. But what will be the coordinates? Well, if this was 2, 4, then the coordinate over here would be following this rule over here. X would be the same, which is at 2, but then the 4 will become a -4. And that makes sense if you use graphing paper and take a look at it. Reflection across the y-axis, that would be this one. That's the y-axis. So if you have a point here, you reflect it, it would be here. So this would be the rule that applies, coordinate-wise, okay? Reflection across y equals x, that's like a diagonal line that goes like that. So if you have a point here, then of course it would be here. So that's the rule. You switch the x and the y. If you want to reflect across the line y equals -x, that would be a diagonal line that goes like that. So if you have a point here, the reflection would be right there. And what is the rule for the coordinates? Oh, you gotta switch the x and the y, but also switch the symbol. So this is something that will come in very handy if you have it in your notebook, but even more so, you gotta understand it. And the understanding bit will come when we do the hands-on experiments or project in class tomorrow. Okay? So the reflection of x comma y is, are you kidding me? You already gave me the rules over here. Okay, so it says use the rules for reflections to reflect a figure with these vertices across the line y equals x. So what are we using? We're going to have to use this formula right here. The xy just switches over. The x becomes the y and the y becomes the x, right? So let's see. So the reflection is going to be y comma x, because that's what we're supposed to do. And when I click on check, it says, oh, you're right, okay? So anyhow, go ahead and follow all the steps. Very easy stuff. This is a lesson where you can learn better if you actually use the textbook instead of me helping you. Okay? So over here it says reflect a figure with the given vertices across the given line. You have these points. Okay, that would be the blue one, because you see there's no prime. So this is the pre-image. That's the question, okay? That's before you made the changes. And then it says reflect over what? The x-axis. And I told you the x-axis is what? This line going that way. You already know that A is not the answer, because when you reflect, it's a rigid transformation. We talked about this in class. And so it should be the same size and the same shape. It cannot be this because it's the same size and same shape, but it's not exactly across this line. If I were to fold my paper this way, it shouldn't be here. So obviously the answer is going to be C, right? So this is one of those questions where even if you don't know anything, you can still get it right. But anyhow, work on all that stuff. Oh, by the way, you can just click on this and then if you want to go ahead and work on the evaluate questions, I already gave this to you as homework. You can see it at the bottom of your home screen. But you know, why, Miss Choi, why are your test questions so hard? They're not. They're all from here. I copy and paste from here. So just go there and take a look at it. Okay? And it tells me right now that I'm here because it's a little bit of a darker color, right? Okay, so same thing over here. I mean, there's not much that I can do with you over here. Finding the midpoint, this is important. You gotta add them both. Okay, so you gotta, there are different lines and you have to, go across that. So just go ahead and find these, okay? What you do is now you have two shapes and you want to find what the line is. So what they did was they found the midpoint for these two, found the midpoint for these two, found the midpoint for these two, and then they connect this line, and that would be the line of reflection. Basically, this triangle is reflected across that line. And then I think you'll have to try and find the equation of that line later on. Note right here, it just says draw the line of reflection. That's really cool. But then I bet you the next step, no, okay, that's good. All right, so now we have a golf course. That's really cool. It is not possible to hit the ball in a straight line from the tee to the hole H, of course. You gotta like go around. So, at what point on the wall should the player aim in order to make a hole in one? That's a really cool question. This is like a reflection. So, if they hit it right here, boom, it would reflect right away this way, and then you'll be able to make a hole in one, right? This is a really cool question, okay? So let's see. Point P, bounds. Oh, so you can just see. I already told you the answer, kind of, sort of. But yeah, if you were to go this way, nope. So yeah, I told you it's right here, right? So this is really cool because it shows you if this ball bounces here, it would just go here. If it bounces this way, then it will go that way. Okay. Ball's path. It has to be exactly like this. The measure of angle CPH has to be the same as this angle. So again, this is another thing where you have to just work on your own, okay? And if you're having problems with this, we'll go ahead and work on this together in class. And there you go. Here are the evaluate questions, and again, this is the section where I copy and paste the questions for your test. You can see all of this, right? So, are you kidding me? This is such an easy question. So if you want to reflect that triangle, where is it going to be? Just by looking. Oh, because it has to look like this. Then the only correct answer is this one, because this is the only one that has the same line of reflection as that one, because all the others have different lines. Okay, so, oh my goodness, why do they make this question so easy? So can you foresee an A in your future? Well, happy learning. I hope you have fun doing this. Okay, and I'll see you tomorrow. Be good. Bye.